Hello YouTube, what is up? This is Mark here, aka Households100, and I have finally got around to uploading battles onto YouTube. I've been playing for quite some time now, but I just couldn't really be bothered trying to work out how to do it. So today I have for you a PU match against Dracomaster. Now looking at his team, he's got quite a few offensive threats. He's got Kingler, possibly Mr. Mime, which could be a special attacker, Exploud as well, which can be either physical or special. And it's got one of those. It's got such a wide move pool, like a lot of normal types do, that you don't really know what set you're going to come up against until you're actually facing it. On my team, we've got a gravity team with Staryu and Clefairy setting up the gravity. We've got Zapcan and Mr. Mime and Hustle's Virus just to abuse it when it's up. So let's get straight into the battle. So I lead with Staryu here. He leads with Exploud. Now I kind of really don't know what set it's going to be. They're usually choice scarfed Explouds, so I was kind of just hoping that it wasn't going to be choice scarfed with Thunderbolt. So I lead with Staryu here. It turns out he isn't choice scarfed, which is good, so I can just set up the gravity. As he just goes for a Hyper Voice, which does a lot of damage. And I'm a Violate max HP Staryu, which kind of tells me his specs. So I switch out here. I can go into Magnemite. I can definitely live one because I've got the sturdy, but looking at how much damage this does, it does an awful lot of damage. I thought resisted hit, it might be able to take it a bit better than it did, but it doesn't matter because I am choice scar, so I will outspeed, and I can just abuse the Zap Cannon whilst gravity's up. What gravity does is it increases the accuracy of all your moves, or it decreases evasion of all the opponent's Pokemon. So Zap Cannon goes from a 50% accuracy move up to something like 85-90% accuracy. Now unfortunately for him, he does get paralysed on that turn, which means he can't take out Magnemite, so he will die to another hit. But I am choice locked and he knows that now, so he can just switch out to Meganium, sponge the Zap Cannons, and then either kill me off or use Aromatherapy to heal off the 2 paralysis. So I switch now into Clefairy, which is my special wall, but it also completely shuts down Meganium, because it has the Magic Guard ability, which means that Clefairy doesn't take damage from indirect hits, such as Leech Seed, Toxic, the usual kind of standard moves on Meganium. And its only really attacking move is probably going to be Giga Drain, which will do literally nothing against a Violate match special defense Clefairy. So this should give me a free opportunity to set up Stealth Rocks. I was probably thinking of changing up Stealth Rocks here actually to something like Moonlight, because I actually have no form of recovery on Clefairy, which is a pretty bad thing for a wall, so I probably will change that eventually, but kind of Stealth Rocks, they're always good. They're always good to have up in the battle, especially when he doesn't have a Rapid Spinner. So he goes into Soul Rock here, which he realises that Clefairy can probably do literally nothing to Soul Rock, so he can just get a free opportunity to set up rocks or go for the Will-O-Wisp or something like that on my switch. I don't know what I was thinking here, going for the Cosmic Power. I thought perhaps I could get an opportunity to start sweeping, but that just isn't going to happen. I mean, this Stone Edge does so much damage, half damage to a max HP Violate Clefairy. He is Life Orb, which tells me it could be something like a Rock Polish, Stone Edge, Earthquake, Will-O-Wisp maybe. So I have to switch out here. I go into Yamask. I've got to try and get Zweilous in now that I've got the gravity up, so I can try and abuse the Outrage, abuse Aqua Tail perhaps. So I have to go into Yamask first, just to try and, if he goes to Stone Edge again, just to try and sponge that. Now I double switch here because I predict him to predict me to go for the Will-O-Wisp, so he can go into Flareon to get the Flash Fire boost. I can now go into Zweilous, and then I can just, from here, go straight for the Outrage, which is Stab and Hustle boosted. And what Hustle does is it decreases the accuracy of your moves, but it also increases the power by 1.5. So combine that with Gravity, you've got a really kind of 100% accurate Outrage, which is effectively choice banded, and that just clean takes out Flareon from that health. So he brings in Meganium here, which is his physical wall, and seeing about how well he takes this Outrage here, it's just insane how good Meganium actually is. How this thing is PU still, I will never know. But he goes to the Toxic here. I'm not really too bothered about that. Zweilous is not going to be able to live too many hits. It's probably going to be OHKO'd by any super effective hit, so residual damage isn't really a big issue. I get the 3-turn Outrage, which is pretty fortunate, and I don't miss, so I can just take out Meganium, which is a huge threat on his team actually. I'm going to really struggle to take it out without taking it out here. Probably only Pelipper is my only real check to it. So I'm now confused, I have to switch out. He then brings in his Kingler, and he makes a really good play here. He goes for the Home Claws on my switch. I can't risk staying in and hitting myself in confusion, so I just go out here into Yamask again, which is my physical wall. Hopefully he would go for the Will-O-Wisp or the Haze, depending on what he does. He might go for the Agility, he might go for the Swords Dance. He goes for the Home Claws, which isn't too bad. I'm thinking I can live maybe 2 hits from his Kingler now. I can go for the Will-O-Wisp and just try and completely shut it down. But he goes to the Crab Hammer here. It does an awful lot of damage, and this is a max HP, max defense. If I like Yamask, which is something like 450 defense, it's nothing to be messing around with, and that does 60%, 65%. I missed the Will-O-Wisp unfortunately, but that's not a massive issue. I've still got my boy Magnemite, who can hopefully live a Stealth Rock switching. I didn't really look at it at the time, I just thought, okay, let's do it, Magnemite, Choice Scarfed. Looking at the rest of his team, I was thinking maybe only Mr. Mime can potentially stop Magnemite from sweeping here. So I bring in Mr. Mime, I live on 2 HP, which is a total boss, and I just fire off the Thunderbolt now, not messing around with Zap Cannon, as he goes into Mr. Mime. Now, looking at this damage, it does a lot to what I presume is a max HP, max special defense Mr. Mime, and it doesn't take this well at all. I mean, Magnemite's special attack is decent, it's base 95, but still, Mr. Mime's special defense is something like 120, so still should be taking that a bit better. Maybe it wasn't a fully special defensive wall, that could have been his Flareon. So anyway, clean takes it out. He goes into Soul Rock here. It's on about 2/3 HP, Magnemite, Thunderbolt. I didn't really expect this to kill, but because my Soul Rock is actually specially defensive, I thought his might be too. But it does, it goes clean straight, takes him out. He goes into Explode here, and Explode at the health it's on, it isn't going to be living a Thunderbolt from this kind of range. And as we found out earlier, he is Choice Specs, so I do outspeed. Magnemite's speed is pretty decent, especially with Choice Scarf. It can outspeed some pretty common threats and walls. So finally he goes back into Kingler here. It might have been worth sacking Kingler earlier on in order to get a safe switch to Mr. Mime, perhaps to live that hit and kill Magnemite, but that's with hindsight. Like I said earlier on, Mr. Mime, perhaps he thought as well that Mr. Mime would take those hits better, but Magnemite just clean takes out Kingler, and that will be a good game. Yeah, that was a really, really good game. Hopefully I'll try and get some more matches with this team and try and upload them if I can. Hopefully you enjoyed that, guys. Sorry if it was a bit iffy. It is my first recording. I'm very new to this, so I haven't had much experience. But hopefully you'll stick around if you like it. You know, keep watching. I'll try and upload. If not, then that's fine with me. You know, not everyone likes everything. So thank you very much, guys. I will see you next time. Goodbye.